Support for this podcast comes from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative, connecting communities with the resources, infrastructure, and networks to ensure a vibrant local free press.
From KVPR in Fresno, this is Central Valley Daily. Happy Friday, it's January 10th. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. This week, U.S. Customs and Border Protection conducted dozens of arrests in Kern County. It surprised many and raised fears among immigrants about further actions.
Please do not go into panic. Please do not open the door if immigration comes to your office or to your house. They had to bring an official document that says, signed by an immigration judge.
We hear what immigrant support groups say are your rights in this situation in just a few minutes. But first, today's headlines. The shuttered Madera Community Hospital could reopen as early as next month. That's according to the latest estimate from the hospital's new CEO, Steve Stark. He tells KVPR the final hurdle is an inspection by the state's public health department.
They really make sure that we're ready to safely and responsibly take care of our community. And if we satisfy all their requirements, which we feel like we will, then we could open roughly the 15th or 16th of February.
Though that could still change, Stark says reopening has already been delayed because the hospital building was in worse shape than expected. Hiring has also been challenging for the hundreds of necessary positions, and Hurricane Helene damaged a factory that led to a nationwide shortage of IV fluid. Hollywood actor Dennis Quaid says he's thankful for firefighters from Fresno. He says they saved his home from fires raging in Los Angeles County. Quaid's known for films like The Parent Trap. Dozens of firefighters from the valley are currently deployed to LA County to battle several fires that have raged there since earlier this week. While Quaid's home was spared, officials say the fires have destroyed more than 1,000 buildings, including the homes of other notable celebrities like Billy Crystal and Paris Hilton. Fresno Mayor Jerry Dyer was sworn in on Thursday for his second term in office. He originally cruised to victory in March during the primary elections, but Thursday marked the official swearing-in ceremony for city officials. Dyer received 80% of the vote to lead the state's fifth largest city. He made solving homelessness and cleaning up the city some of his top priorities in his first term.
Support for Central Valley Daily comes from the members of KVPR. Join at $8 or more per month and access ad-free NPR podcasts through NPR Plus. Give now at kvpr.org/donate.
And now to our main story. This week, some Valley residents have raised alarms over arrests being conducted by U.S. Customs and Border Protection in the Central Valley. Community organizations estimate dozens of people have been arrested. Pictures and videos posted to social media show farm workers have been at the center of the arrests, and officials with Customs and Border Protection are now saying they plan to expand their operation to places like Fresno and Sacramento counties. Pro-immigrant groups are protesting Border Patrol's operation and are seeking to provide support to those at risk. To learn about how this is having an impact, I spoke with Eleazar Valdez. He's an outreach coordinator for the Central Valley Immigration Integration Collaborative, or CVIIC. That's an organization that provides services and information to immigrant communities. Valdez discussed with me the images of Border Patrol that have been circulating online.
The pictures can be a little bit deceiving, and ICE can be also deceiving. It has always been deceiving with the immigrant community. They always say they're the police. When they knock on the door, say, open the door, it is the police. By law, we're supposed to open the door. But if it's ICE, by law, we're not allowed to open the door if they don't have a legal document that says, you have an order or deportation signed by the immigration judge. So ICE can be very deceiving, and the community sometimes they fall into that trap, I should say, and they open the door. And once they open the door, you are inviting the officer to come to the house, and that's where they get the arrest occurs.
There are some estimates out there that between 40 and as many as 190 people have been detained just in this early part of the week by Border Patrol agents. Where is this activity most concentrated?
The first day where we heard about the raids, it happened in, like you said, in Kern County, Bakersfield, and 40 people were detained. I spoke with an organization that they do have removal defense attorneys, and they told me that one person was already deported within the same day.
Does Border Patrol typically have information about someone before they make an arrest? How are these encounters with these immigration agents typically playing out?
Like I explained, it can be a little bit, tricky because they might be looking for somebody else, but when they go and knock on the door, when they find somebody on the street and the person is not the person they're looking for, they also take the person, arrested. So that's why it's very important for the community to know their rights. In the United States, regardless of our legal status, we all have rights and we need to exercise them. So if somebody has an encounter with ICE, it's very important that they don't sign any document unless they have an attorney present with them. It's very important for the community not to say anything. Do not show any documents by law. You're not allowed to. And we have this red card where people can exercise their rights, basically take it out. And it says, I do not give consent for you to talk to me or detain me because I haven't done anything. It's nothing that's going to work 100%, but at least it's letting the officer know that you know your rights.
So you mentioned the red card and that people need to educate themselves so they know what to do. What should they be doing if they haven't seen any of this activity, but they're concerned?
It's very important for the community to memorize a phone number of the consulate or a private attorney or a legal organization that can provide services in case they get detained. If they get detained, it's very important that they don't sign any document. Once they sign a document, that means they are giving you the right for them to deport you, and you cannot file your case. You have the right to make a call, and that's where you can call your consulate, you can call a private attorney or a nonprofit organization, and they can start creating a plan for you to file your case in the United States.
And you mentioned that people can contact a nonprofit organization. I know yours, the Central Valley Immigration Integration Collaborative, does a lot of work with immigrants here in the community. What resources does your nonprofit have available to people?
So we have the red cards. We have a document where we have a list of organizations throughout the Central Valley that you can trust them and you call them in case you get arrested. We also do immigration workshops throughout the Central Valley. Our first one is going to be on January 16th in Visalia, when we bring pro bono attorneys, legal reps from other organizations, and you can do a one-on-one with an attorney. Those who have no legal status, the immigration laws change from day to day. So it's very important to do one-on-one at least once a year. You might benefit from an immigration relief and you didn't even know. Those who have the green card or the MICA and they qualify to become U.S. citizens, we encourage them to apply ASAP. Those who have DACA and the permit is going to expire within 1 year, it's also important to renew ASAP. As with this new administration, there has been attack coming in, is going to be attacking the Dreamers and those who have DACA. And so it's very important for them to renew it. In case DACA is terminated, they have at least 2 more years of caution.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
Please do not go into panic. Please do not open the door if immigration comes to your office or to your house. They had to bring an official document that says, signed by an immigration judge. If that document says immigration officer, you have the right not to open the door. So before you open the door, it's very important that you let the officer show you the document how? Under the door or through the window. Do not sign anything. Do not speak anything. Do not show any documents. You have the right to be silent, and always call your attorney or call your consulate so they can prepare a plan for you to file your case in the United States.
That was my conversation with Eleazar Valdez. He's an outreach coordinator with the nonprofit group Central Valley Immigration Integration Collaborative, or CVIIC. And that's today's show. Don't forget, you can leave a 5-star rating if you like Central Valley Daily, and we would love if you would also share it with a friend. Today's episode was produced by Jonathan Linden and KVPR with support from the Central Valley Journalism Collaborative. I'm Elizabeth Arkalian. Find the latest local news anytime at kvpr.org.
We could all use a little help navigating the news these days. The Consider This podcast wants to give you a hand. 6 days a week, we'll help you make sense of the day's biggest news story and what it means for you in less than 15 minutes. Listen now to the Consider This podcast from NPR.